All right, everyone, to continue our UI and menu train, I'm going to show you how we can create a simple carousel menu here. Right now, if you were doing this in 3D, of course, all you have to do is just have a pivot in the center and you could just rotate it by X amount of degrees and space everything out with math. But of course, we do a lot of 2D here. So we're showing you the 2D version, and all we need here, pull up that zoom, is we have the carousel menu, which is holding our script. We have a control here that's just holding all of our items in it. And in my case, I'm just using some buttons for a menu. But of course, you don't have to use this as a menu. You can use this for images if you just want it for maybe an inventory for the player to look at. Or maybe do something like a texture button and the user can click on it and then they see a 3D item that they can rotate, whatever, right? And the label here, the label here at the bottom that you see is just the item name text that you see displayed at the bottom of the game screen. Now, in my case, I'm just getting the button text for it, but you could always put a script on your items or have metadata, whatever, right, to get your item, the name of your items that you want to use. That marker 2D that you see there is going to be the center of our carousel that everything is quote unquote rotating or pivoting around. And the color rect is just to give us a background of some sort. So we got the item name text here at the bottom, going across, marker 2D roughly around the middle. And all of my buttons are just sitting up there because they're all going to be positioned automatically for us. All right. That's all we need for the setup here. And we can jump into the script. Pull that across so you can see everything. And you see we got a couple of exports that we're going to use. The radius X and Y and the center offset, so we can tweak the values of our carousel. I'll show you that after we run through this. But you can adjust the scale, alpha, and the animation time every time you're rotating around. And of course, the items root and the label that we're going to be changing. We'll keep our items in a set of arrays so we don't have to constantly be getting them or anything. Our selected index is 0, and of course our tween. All right, and ready, we'll go ahead and get it set up with assigning them, and we run through our for loop so we can set up their offset, of course set the focus mode, and connect their pressed buttons, because in my case, again, they're buttons some the user can click on, not just look at. And then we call our update carousel. Unhandled input, that's just holding our right, left, and accept, right? Just for some keyboard controls, or even, I guess, controller controls at this point. But I'm usually using keyboard anyway. Well, with that, allows us to switch or rotate around and select. Move selection, it's going to update our selected index, and then of course update the carousel. Update carousel, this is our biggest function here. We check if our tween is already active, so kill it. That way we don't have to wait for the full animation every time. If you wanted to wait for that, you could, but we're not going to. That way you could just spam left or spam right if you have a bunch of items, for example. If animated, right, I don't need to say this stuff, right? We're here all one by one. Go through, create the tween, set all our animations parallel, adjust the center point, run through our items, and adjust all their positions in that for the tween. For their position, scale, rotation, and their modulation so that they can be faded more in the background. That way it looks more like a rotation, like it's getting some distance. And of course, it makes it obvious which one is in the front or selected, etc. and then we update the text of that label that we have at the bottom of the screen. Get wrapped offset. There's the function there. As I mean, you imagine we're getting the offset for the item. It's kind of self-explanatory, as a function should be. If activate selected, so this is just going off of if you use that, what was it, UI accept, based off of which item is selected. You can have whatever specific thing happens, so it doesn't have to be pressed necessarily, but activate selected. And button pressed again, that's just calling activate selected with that whenever we click on it. And updating our carousel, which probably doesn't really need to, but maybe you would need to, and update our index. And that just gives us a simple carousel here. And you see, since we don't have to wait for animations, we could just spam one direction without having to necessarily wait. Now, I did mention the could play with the property, so radius X, if I just reduce that severely, you should be able to see quite noticeably. Right, so we get a smaller carousel going on, much smaller. And same with radius Y, that's going to adjust like our height. So the closer you get to 0, the closer it's going to be in terms of being straight on, right? So if you want a carousel that's more like this kind of situation, or if you want it to be tweaked down, you just go into the negatives, right? So you can play with the radius X and Y to really get the kind of carousel look that you want. And there are plenty of games that use a carousel like this for the displaying items, going through an inventory, or looking at collectibles, etc. Center offset is 0, 0, but you could always tweak that if you really wanted to for whatever reason. Right, so if we just make the X kind of insane here in the negative, that should be quite obvious for us. That's right, it's all the way over there now. And that offset is relative to our marker, right? And the same with our scale, right? So if we change this to a 3 for our front scale, right? You see we also have a much larger set there. And maybe we set the back scale at that point to 0.1. And we take a look, so we can see we got really small in the back, really large in the front. Again, you can really go through these options and have the customization that you are looking for yourself. Just adjust the tween time, and my god, it's going to be super slow. I don't know why you would want it this slow, but you know, maybe you do. So you can just, all your exports there, you can just tweak them and customize your menu from there. All right, that's it for this. I've got to get going. Yeah, take off like 8 minutes. So take care. Have yourselves a good one, and I'll see you guys next time. If there's any other specific menu types like this that you want to see on how to do, go ahead and just leave it down in the comments, and maybe we'll do that one next week. I just want to add on there to the end of that video that this is also the same kind of system that you can use for things like Mario Kart, Crash Team Racing, and other type menus like that. For example, if we set the radius to radius Y to 0, and we can come down to side alpha, set that to just something negative, like -1. Oh, maybe we have to go lower than that. Right, there we go. We just have this single look setup. So this is where you would have like your cart just slide in. So you have your individual situation going on, right? So just want to toss that in there. If you want to do a type of menu that's kind of like that, that is also a carousel menu. It's just with the options tweaked a bit. All right. So just wanted to throw that in there in case you were maybe confused at which games have it. Those are two that would, right? Mario Kart, Crash Team Racing, the Sonic one probably has it. I don't play Super Smash Brothers, but I think I remember Smash Brothers using a carousel type menu for one of their things. But yeah, just wanted to throw that in there.